Hello, friends, and welcome. This is the first of my 2 Hours, One Life guides. This game is a free online multiplayer role playing game. Everyone has families and builds individual towns on one giant map. What you're seeing now is a solo town that I'm working on. There's a lot to do farming, hunting, you can be a cook or a tailor, an explorer, and so on. I wanted to make this guide so that new players are able to get started in the game because I know how overwhelming it can be. In this guide, I'll go over how to install the game and get it running, as well as a tutorial walkthrough. Let's get started. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to the website 2hoursonelife.com. You'll want to join the Discord server and also download the game files. I don't recommend downloading the files to the desktop of your computer. Put them in the C drive or somewhere else. It works a lot better that way. So installing the game is going to take a few minutes just because it needs to unzip a lot of files. If you want, you can speed this process up by using a third-party unzipping software. So unzipping my game took about 10 minutes, but now that it's ready to go, I'm going to create a desktop shortcut so that I can easily start up the game. When I open it for the first time, it'll also take a little while just to install. It's really important to wait for this process and not tab out or anything while it sets up. So once your game's installed, you'll be able to input the login information from the Discord server. In any thread in Discord, you can type /account, which will prompt the bot to give you your login information. When you copy it over, just make sure there aren't little sneaky spaces hiding at the end of your key. Next, we'll go into the game settings and make a few adjustments that I use when I play. I'll go into further detail on these for the next video, but for now, we'll just go ahead and enable them. In gameplay, we'll enable zoom, which uses the mouse roller, and enable center camera. In control, select keyboard actions. This will really speed things up for you later on. These are screen settings, but I'm not going to change anything just right now. For sound, I usually bump the music loudness down just a little bit, but I think that's my personal preference. Here are the Discord settings. I'm also just going to leave these as is. Here in advanced, I'm going to add show use on hover, which will show me how many uses each tool has remaining. And I'll select show coordinates, which helps me to not get lost. Another setting is the Yum Finder. This is helpful when you're first starting out because it'll show you all the food nearby, so you're less likely to starve. I'm also going to select Enable Object Finder so I can find things, and the Family Display so I can keep track of my family members. Choosing Enable Dangerous highlight puts a red box around enemies. This keeps me alive a little longer, though I do still run into wild boars and wolves. And now our settings are all set. Let's get into the tutorial. When you hit play for the first time, it'll spawn you into the tutorial. You'll notice that as I move through, there are these talking stones that will give information as I near them. I really recommend reading everything and learning what you can because it'll make the next part a lot easier. Click the left mouse button to walk, or you can press D on the keyboard. So you can click where you want to go or just use the regular WASD or a combination of both, which is what I usually do. Now it's warning me that I can die in the tutorial. Uh-oh. So navigation in the game is automatic. What you want to do is click the door here to open it, and then click the grapes. and it will just navigate you there. You can see the little dotted line that appears as my character walks all the way there. And then you can click on the grapes to pick them up. And you can eat them by clicking on your face. Delicious. So now it's telling me about Yum, which is one of the key game mechanics. I'm going to pick this onion. And because I haven't eaten an onion yet, my character says Yum. Whenever you eat a Yum food, you get a bonus to your food meter. I can click my face to eat the onion, or I can press E on my keyboard. You'll notice when I pick this next onion, it doesn't say Yum. Instead, it says Meh, because I've already eaten an onion once this life. I don't recommend eating any meh foods if you can help it. You can drop what's in your hand by right-clicking on an empty space or pressing spacebar. Now we've come across an apple tree. We can pick an apple by clicking on the tree. And it's a Yum. Let's eat the apple. You can click and hold near the edge of the screen just to keep walking. Or use those WASD commands. Here's a round stone we can pick up. I'm sure this will come in handy soon. Now it's telling me how to use the crafting guide, so we'll open that up. You can see all the uses for the round stone that I'm currently holding. And if I click how to make, it'll actually tell me which biomes the round stone spawns in. If this was a craftable item, it would also tell me how to craft it, but we'll get to that in a minute here. So here's a big hard rock. We can use this. Let's get back into the crafting menu. Here at the top, it's telling me to use my round stone on the big hard rock to create a sharp stone. Let's try it. There, nice. Now it's suggesting that we see all the uses for a sharp stone in our crafting menu by pressing V. You can also flip through the menu by pressing Tab and closing it again by pressing V. I see I'm getting hungry, so let's pick an orange. I can drop the sharp stone by right-clicking an empty space and then pick an orange. It's a Yum, so we eat it and continue on. So this food is a little bit harder to eat. We have burdock, which we could try to use our sharp stone on. It works. And then there's a wild carrot, and that works too. So we'll drop the stone and eat the burdock. Unfortunately, I can't eat the wild carrot because I'm full. We will take this sharp stone though, and then continue on. Here we go. Time to craft a way to carry some items. Let's find out how to make a basket. It's telling me to click on these tool reeds, and I can see that the sharp stone can be used. So in the crafting guide, it actually shows 2 tool reeds being combined to make a basket. So let's try it. And there we go. We've made a basket. I can put the sharp stone in, and we can take this with us. Here's a vertical door. Thankfully, we can just open it, and we don't even have to put down our basket. Now it's suggesting that we take some food for the rest of our journey. So let's take the rock out of the basket by right-clicking, and then forage some of this food. Wild garlic. Got it. Banana. Got it. It looks like I can't seem to pick up this beet. Pressing V brings up that handy crafting menu. Ah, looks like the sharp stone can dig it up. There we go. So here's a small puzzle. The game suggests holding down space, but because we have keyboard controls on already, it's not going to work as planned, but that's totally okay. So what we want to do is open up these first two vertical doors. Door 1, door 2, and then we want to put the kindling onto the hot coals. Move my basket out of the way here. Grab kindling, and then stoke the fire. Ha! There we go. Let's grab a pepper here before we continue on. So spicy! Some foods in the game have a fun effect on the character. The pepper is one of my favorites. You might have noticed that the character has been naked this whole time. There's a few ways to get warm in the game, which actually slows down how quickly you get hungry. One way is standing by the fire. You can see the temperature meter in the bottom right. You want to get it as close as possible to the center line, not too hot or too cold. Walls and floors also contain heat, so if we close this door, the room will get nice and warm. It's pretty much perfectly balanced. But we can't stay here forever. We want to finish this tutorial, so let's carry on. It looks like we're coming up on a cold area. Thankfully, there are a bunch of clothes here. You can get dressed by picking up a clothing item and then clicking on your body. There we go. Or you can press E while holding the clothing to wear it. We've got loincloth, coat, hat, and even a couple of shoes. Put all of these on. Remember our basket. And across the snow we go. Looks like our clothing protects from the heat of the desert as well. And if you ever want to remove your clothing, you can just click it to remove it. But let's keep them on for now. To talk in the game, you press Enter to make the text box appear. When you're a baby, you'll only be able to say one letter at a time, but this increases as you get older. When you have the text box open, you're able to press up or down to cycle through the things you've said recently. Families in the game are known by their last name. To set your last name, open the text box and say, I am Jones, or whatever you want your last name to be. You're also able to name other players, usually your own children. Simply hold them and say, you are Sally, or whatever you want their name to be. The crafting menu is also searchable by using the text box. So you can open it by pressing Enter and then type /hatchet to find the recipes, including the hatchet. This works with any item in the game, and it can be a really good shortcut. Remember to switch between how to make and how to use, depending on what you're currently trying to do. You can also clear the search just by saying /. And here's the final challenge. Make a hatchet, chop kindling, stoke the fire. Here's the fire, so now we'll need a hatchet. Let's search for it by pressing /hatchet, and then opening the crafting guide by pressing V. Looks like we need a sharp stone. I remember how to make that. Now we need a tied short shaft. Click on the item to figure out how to make it. So we need a rope plus a short shaft. And the short shaft seems to come from a long straight shaft, which comes from a straight branch. I saw some of those over here, so we'll grab the sharp stone, click on it once to make the long straight shaft, and then right, one more click to make the short shaft. Now, if we go back to search for hatchet once more, we'll see what else we need. We got 2 things. Looks like we need some rope. Now, how do we get rope? 2 threads combined to make a rope. How do we get threads? Milkweed. I think I saw some milkweed near the top here. Ah, milkweed here, 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 and here. Let's pick some. And 2 combined will make a thread. Perfect. Let's do that once more. 1, 2. 2 threads combined to make a rope. Haha! Now we're ready to add our rope to our short shaft. Let's search for the hatchet again in the crafting guide, and it looks like the sharp stone is our final. There we go. We've made a hatchet. Now we need to figure out how to make some kindling. We'll try chopping this branch. It worked! The final step, put the kindling onto the hot coals. And we've done it. That's the final challenge completed. Congratulations! Now the game is telling us to press /die to quit. And that's the completed tutorial. So that's how you get started in 2 Hours, 1 Life. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to be born as a baby to another player and join an existing town. Thanks for watching.